Juan Tienda to me represents an institutionalization of Latinos at Michigan. A way that we can sort of come together, a way we can tie in the alumni, and a way that we can perpetuate the vision that Juan had, public service, unselfish public service.
Juan Luis Tienda was many things to many people. He was a leader, an innovator, and a dear friend. His remarkable story, however, began long before he ever enrolled at Michigan. Born on October 18, 1951, in Detroit, Michigan, Juan Luis grew up in a loving family with parents who worked extremely hard to provide for their children. But like many Mexican-American families at the time, they often struggled to make ends meet. Juan Luis learned how to face challenges with dignity and strength early in his life. When he was only 5 years old, he faced the first of many obstacles, the death of his mother. Yet as the only son of 5 children, he quickly grew into a resourceful, independent, and focused young man. Growing up, he developed a particularly close bond with his sister, Marta, who was only a year older than him. She once described Juan Luis as her partner in crime, remembering the time when they ran away together, even if it did only last for one day. As a senior at Lincoln Park High School, Juan Luis did well academically. But it was at this time that he also started to develop the characteristics of leadership and humility that would come to define him later in life. Upon high school graduation in 1969, Juan Luis arrived at a crossroad. Unable to afford college, he decided to enlist in the army. Considering the remarkable anti-military and anti-establishment sentiment of the Vietnam era, it was an unusual move for a man of his age. However, he knew that the military was his ticket to an education, and that an education was his ticket to a better life. This was a lesson instilled to him by his loving father, Toby Tienda, who so passionately sought to improve the next generation of Tiendas. His experience in the military was the same as the rest of his life, unique and remarkable. Elsa Lamelas, a very special person in Juan Luis's life, remembered one of his many great stories in a letter she wrote years after his death.
On the way to Vietnam, someone came out and addressed his unit, asking if anyone knew how to type. They needed a typist in Japan. His hand shot up faster than anyone else's. The others went to Vietnam, he went to Japan. I heard this story a couple of times before I thought to ask when he had learned to type. He said, "I didn't know how." So I said, "What did you do?" He answered, "Oh, I learned fast." I would never have had the presence of mind to raise my hand. But that was Juan, quick on the uptake, ingenious, and confident.
After securing admission to Michigan State University, Juan Luis was able to leave the military early. He excelled in college and graduated in only 3 years, allowing him to use part of his GI Bill to pay for his first year of law school. But Juan Luis was also able to find balance in his life outside of school.
He really enjoyed being outdoors, nature with nature, whether it was in the snow, whether it was on a lake, on a river. He had his dog, liked to be on the boat with the dog, on the canoe, or go, skiing or hunting, just quiet nature where he could think.
In 1974, he enrolled at the University of Michigan Law School. As a Michigan law student, Juan Luis immediately made an impact at law school and in the community. He helped establish a field office for the Michigan Migrant Legal Assistance Project in Hart, Michigan, where he worked full-time in the summers after his first and second years of law school. During law school, he also organized the Milan Prison Project, offering legal advice to prison inmates. Deeply committed to expanding the opportunities for Latino law students, he also served as the president of the La Raza Law Students Association during his 2L year. Juan Luis was passionate about recruiting other Latino students to the law school, and it was during one of his recruiting phone calls that he would meet Elsa, his future fiancée. It is precisely because Juan Luis was so well respected and admired that his unexpected death struck so many people so personally. Only a few days before he was to begin his final year at the law school, he was tragically killed in a car accident near Austin, Texas. The entire law school community was shocked by the news of Juan Luis's death. Their lighthearted and committed compañero was gone. Yet those who loved him were determined to honor his memory. His friends and family knew that he meant so much to the law school, and that his passion for social justice and the advancement of Latinos must live on. They worked hard to create an appropriate way to pay respect to his vision and commitment.
Juan was sort of the image that everybody sees as sort of the storefront lawyer, helping the poor, helping the unrepresented. He was the icon. That's the way I view Juan, is that he truly was the icon of a public interest lawyer in the classic sense. And so when we came to the school, we were instantly hit with the tragic news that he had passed away, and it hit us. We were kind of like shell-shocked that sort of one of our comrades, one of the persons that sort of we leaned on, was gone. And there was a vacuum there. There was a missing element in the organization. We wanted to do something that would sort of pay tribute to Juan. Someone raised the issue of a scholarship, that maybe what we could do is sort of have a tribute to Juan, maybe collect donations that would be seed money. And the big issue was, well, where do we hold it? Where do we hold the banquet? And the idea came and said, well, the students don't get fed on Sunday. Why don't we have a Sunday dinner? And so the idea kind of snowballed from there and says, well, it makes logical sense to have it at the Lawyers Club. All the students need someplace to eat. We said, well, what are we going to serve? Well, we said, well, a simple meal could be something like tamales and beans and rice and a couple of tacos. It would be fairly inexpensive. We could raise some money.
Over the years since the first dinner, through the support of his family, committed alumni, students, and administrators, the Juan Luis Tienda Banquet and Scholarship has grown in both size and strength.
I was shocked. I was very humbled. I had tremendous respect for the people who competed, have tremendous respect. I thought the group of Latino students in the law school was incredibly talented, very diverse in background. Just amazing people to know. I was really very honored that they chose me as one of the winners. And so personally, I was overwhelmed.
As I've learned more about Juan Luis and the type of person he was, and how committed he was not only to the law school, but to the Latino community and to his family, I realized just what an important person he was. I think we can all agree that he epitomizes the type of professional and the type of person that we hope to be in the future.
Although the impact of Juan Luis Tienda's life on the scholarship winners and the Latino students of Michigan is clear, his legacy has had an even greater influence on the broader law school community.
And so having groups like YALSA that has a specific emphasis on the Latino law students and the interests of the Latino community at large helps us all in the sense that we get to share in those interests and learn about those interests.
Juan Luis's commitment was exemplified by his work and unfailing optimism. He believed with all his heart that no one should ever be taken advantage of because of skin color or class. Quite appropriately, he found comfort in knowing that he was doing his part to fight for the poor and oppressed. Even though his life was cut painfully short, it can be said that he truly lived his life. Through the Juan Luis Tienda Banquet and Scholarship, his mission lives on today.
The Juan Luis Tienda Scholarship, to me, and I think I can speak for the rest of my family members, means that Juan Luis's legacy continues, that his dream continues to be fulfilled despite the fact that he's not with us on this earth. I see in all of the recipients, I see them each as a star that shines bright in connecting with my brother. And I see that in their hearts there's a place where my brother lives. And so for me, it means that he continues to live in this world and that the things that he dreamed so much of wanting to do continue to be accomplished, but not just by one person, by a multitude of people, by all the people that have received and will continue to receive the scholarship. And so for that, I thank all of the recipients, and I thank everyone who's been involved in this whole scholarship program, in selecting the students and putting on banquets such as this one, so that the scholarship continues to grow and continues to bear fruit.
Juan Luis touched many lives. He was dearly loved and remains sorely missed, but his spirit lives on. The law school community and the Latino Law Students Association salute Juan Luis Tienda. Gone, but not forgotten, Juan Luis will forever live in our hearts.